Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Podcast Beyond.
Beyond!
I am your host, Games Editorial Manager of IGN.com, Jeremy Dunham, and I am joined by Editor-in-Chief of the PlayStation team, Chris Roper.
Woot!
Editor Greg Miller.
Hey!
Editor Jeff Haynes.
What's the dealio?
And Ass Editor Ryan Clements.
Headshot.
By the way, that's just an abbreviation for Associate Editor.
No, actually, it really is.
That's the official title.
You're getting new mail now.
It's the beginning of the show, which means it's time for the Roper Report.
So,
Some news.
So a lot of this is release date and whatnot related. Devil May Cry 4 got a official Japanese release date. Is coming out January 31st over there. So
January!
So if you're
Sorry, I couldn't control myself.
all right, so if you're in Japan at the end of January, go ahead and buy that game. Unfortunately, while we're getting Devil May Cry maybe a little bit sooner, but maybe we're expecting February, March, whatever, a little bit sooner than expected. We're getting MGS4 a little later than expected. 4, as everybody's seen by now, the game has been delayed into Q2 of 2008 next year.
Yeah.
2008.
I think it's going to keep going, by the way.
I know. I was going to say, can anyone see the next announcement of Q3 and then Q4?
Every
Yeah.
quarter.
I
I
can't
think
wait
it's
for
gonna get
a
pushed
year
back
from now to have the same freaking discussion.
I think that's what's going to happen.
But the production is amazing.
The real question is how much difference is going to be between the Metal Gear Solid 4 delay and Metal Gear Online delay. I wonder if they're going to be identical, and can one run completely independent of the other?
I think they probably can. I mean, considering that they were demoing the two completely separately at TGS, and the game itself, especially the gameplay, was solid as it was shown there.
Oh, solid. Nice.
Thank you.
Well, and think about this. If the single-player game is taking this long to do, how long before Metal Gear Solid Online comes out? Makes you think. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Okay, so and then this week on the PlayStation Store, we can expect a Uncharted demo.
Nice.
Yay!
So that should be pretty cool. The game looks pretty cool so far.
And it's of level 4?
It is half of level 4.
Okay.
Originally, we were told that it was 4 levels, but it was level 4, half of that part. So, anyway, but from what we've seen, the levels seem pretty long. We've only ever seen chunks of levels.
Yeah.
And we've had pretty, and so what we've heard is about a 20-minute demo. So,
Cool.
So it should be pretty good.
And look for coverage of that later in the week.
Exactly.
Okay.
And let's see. Perhaps the craziest news of the last week has been that Manhunt 2 on the PSP was cracked.
Oh, no.
So pretty much what happened, from what we can see, most of the changes that happened after the whole ESRB shakedown was that Rockstar added filters to the screen to where when you performed an execution, the camera kind of went to a different angle, and there's giant filters on there, and it becomes kind of dark, and it's sort of black and white, and basically makes it harder to see. The same things are happening as before, but they just make it harder for you to see exactly what's happening. With the PSP game, people have figured out, and we're not going to explain how this happens because I'm not even sure about the details about it, but by hacking a couple lines of code in the game, you basically remove the screen filters, and you see the executions as clean as you can get. So you'll see you guys get their balls ripped off or whatever's in their game now. So, yeah.
Grindhouse reference.
Yeah. Well, it's also Manhunt.
Oh,
Pliers and stuff.
Well, that was
that
actually
execution, I
removed.
think, was removed, but yeah. But it was in there. And when I saw that in the first demo, it was not pretty. And then the last bit to mention, it has been confirmed now that LucasArts and BioWare are indeed teaming up on some sort of game, which everybody assumes is going to be a Knights of the Old Republic or Star Wars MMO in some fashion, which would be pretty awesome.
I think that's a logical choice.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's Willow.
It could be a Willow MMO.
It's the Willow MMO.
Could be a Willow turn-based RPG.
You are great.
I am the last Willow.
The birds will tell us.
Mad again. Okay, so next up is a brand new segment that we're introducing because every week, I got tired of saying, "Hey guys, what's come out this week?" And he's looking at me like,
There's too many games coming out.
So now we have our brand new segment that we like to call the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
Jesus Christ, is that long?
Well, what can I tell you? It's the official title. This week, there's actually quite a few large releases coming down on the PS3. We have Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which is a title that a lot of people have been excited about since E3. That's a big one. And from what I understand, it's pretty popular among the community, and meaning the editorial community, and that it's actually just as good as the Xbox 360 version, from what I hear.
Yeah. The most recent person that I've played the PS3 game was Charles, when he went down to an event a couple weeks ago, and he played that exclusively for 3 or 4 hours or whatever, and said it was exactly on par. So.
And they actually have audio
Yeah,
audio for online,
it's-
unlike
it's-
most recent Activision
It's kind of
games.
amazing. Some studios hit it and nail everything, and some studios kind of drop the ball. And Infinity Ward seems to have nailed every single aspect of that game on every platform. They have everything in there.
And Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga comes out on PS3 this week as well. And it's from what we can tell, it's more the same, but it's still fun, which is what that series is all about. Is just easy pick up and play fun. And
Find the red brick.
I think exactly, but they do it in such a way that it's still charming. It's amazing that even after 3 games and a license has been done to death, that they can still find a way to
Still make you want to
entertain
play
you.
it? Yeah,
it's
I know. I was
pretty
thinking about that the
impressive.
other day.
And then on the PSP front, of course, we have SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs Tactical Strike. Ryan, you reviewed that game last week. Give us a quick overview of what you thought.
It's a decent game. It's there's not really a lot to say about it besides the fact that it's fun. I enjoyed it. That there's some serious mechanical issues that impeded me from enjoying it as much as
Such
I want.
as?
Well, you can read my review, first of all, as a shameless plug for my review. But the biggest problem is the AI, because you're supposed to be controlling these elite, awesome Navy SEALs, and SEALs are supposed to be brilliant and incredibly fantastic.
Right. I've seen the movie with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, exactly. That should be enough for you. But yeah, basically, it's just here's an example. Like my sniper, when you can you can issue commands to each of the 4 people on your team.
Yeah,
or as a
so
group.
everybody knows, in case they haven't been following this, Tactical Strike is a totally different SOCOM game than we've seen before. So it's not an action, you're not controlling one dude, you're actually giving commands to a squad.
Right.
It's more along lines of
it's-
SWAT and Killzone Liberation.
It's completely, you have
Yeah.
no direct control over your team. It's all like command-based. It's a command-based format. It's real time. It's just command-based. So you can issue commands to like the Bravo or Alpha elements of your squad, the whole team, or individual people. I told my sniper to take someone out from, at a distance.
And he took him out to get a bite to eat. Totally misunderstood.
So funny. And he said I can't acquire the target. And I was like, why not? It's because he was sitting behind a box. Why he didn't stand up or just move to the side, I don't know, but it's because he was sitting behind a box that he couldn't take out his target. So I had to tell him to move over to the side and then take out his target, and it was ridiculous.
What's the game's biggest strength?
It's the idea is cool. I mean, it's not necessarily a new idea because things like Full Spectrum Warrior have done that sort of command-based squad game before, but it's still it's fun, and it is pretty polished. Besides the problems with the AI and some camera control can get a little wonky. Besides that, it's a fun experience especially if you like SOCOM and you want a little bit of a fresh thing.
Okay. And Jeff, Silent Hill Origins comes out this week as well. You've been you're on the docket to review that one. Have you gotten a chance to sit down and play that one yet, or is
No.
that something for later in the week?
We have not seen anything new on that game for months, which usually does not bode well for a title. Every single time it's been shown has been the exact same demo, which has been what we've had posted up on the site for months now. The first intro level, including the situation with Travis going into the burning house and then finding himself in Silent Hill and going to the hospital. That's all we've seen. We have no idea what else is going on in the game because it just hasn't been shown anywhere. So, your guess is pretty much as good as ours.
So we might not see a review for that until the end of the week.
Possibly.
Best case scenario.
Yeah, the biggest thing, especially with the Silent Hill game, as anybody that's played them knows, is that you usually have to play at least 1 or 2 times just to make sure that there are no extra hidden endings or other ways that the game can possibly develop. So it's probably going to take at least a week.
A couple other games worth noting that are coming out this week. You have Aqua Teen Hunger Force Zombie Ninja Pro-Am on PS2. Greg's going to handle that one. We have Blade Storm, The 100 Years War on PS3. Looks like complete ass with swords.
Blade Storm.
And Ryan will be doing that one. Is that a fair assessment? Ass with swords?
Blade Storm.
Ass Storm. The Simpsons game is finally going to be released on PSP after all the other versions came out last week. And then you have a couple other small releases. 7 Wonders on PSP. Blazing Angels 2 finally hits PS3. Another Cabela's Big Game Hunter comes out.
Shooting stuff.
Do it.
Power Rangers Super Legends 15th Anniversary Edition.
Is anybody still watching Power?
Is that still
I don't
even
know.
on?
Power
Well, this
Rangers is
15th
awesome.
anniversary.
It's the best show ever.
And then, of course, World Series of Poker 2008.
Defensive.
Jeff reviewed that on the other platforms earlier. It's coming out on PSP this week.
Maybe.
Possibly.
So says people.
It's been pushed back so many times.
You never know those poker games, man.
I know.
They always say they're coming out and then they
They
keep
never
folding.
They never do.
See how I use that word there?
That's very nice.
Nice tie-in.
We have lots of little. See, we're like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Every time we speak, there's a couple extra hidden, little
We're
bits of
nowhere near as
information.
genius as a Quentin Tarantino
So is that why
movie.
We're a
Ryan
little more
doesn't tip?
controlled. Yeah. Why don't
What?
you tip?
Why don't you
Why
tip?
don't I tip?
Never mind.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
I thought you meant tip back, like over in my chair. I didn't know you meant tip at a restaurant. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Anyway,
Pick of the week time.
pick of the week. Dude, are you just in the corner like storing all this up?
That's what I do.
I think we were all in agreement. It's Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's an easy pick for us.
No.
Why is Call of Duty the pick of the week this week, folks?
Well, first off, I've seen Hill play through a decent bit of he's beaten him, but I've seen parts of the single player that he's played, and it looks pretty cool. There's a couple of moments in there where you're like, holy crap, that was very cool. It's complete chaos. If you played the other Call of Duties before, this is actually even more crazy than those. You basically get tired from playing the game because it's such a it just hits you from all fronts. And the online play is crazy. It has basically everything you could want out of a shooter online.
And it looks fantastic.
So, yeah, and it runs at 60 frames a second. Looks great. It's kind of amazing how in tune they are with their engine work over there. So those guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's a big step up from Call of Duty 3, which Infinity Ward did not do. That was given to another development crew, and now it's actually nice to see the original crew get back and do what they do best, which is make Call of Duty games.
It's also nice to see it not take place in World War II.
Yeah, that's a nice change.
Yeah.
This is where I think that next year you're going to see Medal of Honor and Modern Warfare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then of course the Call of Duty franchise will move into the future.
Mm-hmm. But they keep outrunning the other ones.
Exactly. It'll be lasers.
Keep going.
Lasers.
Call it Star Wars Call of Duty.
Terminators.
At some
Yes,
point,
Terminator.
It would be great.
At some
That
point,
would
they'll
be
run out of
sweet.
future and just have to set it on a different planet with everybody's aliens and there's no humans.
Or they go back in time, and
Yeah.
or perhaps they could do a
Call of Duty Rome Warfare.
Civil War where you spend half an hour just loading
God.
your gun, and packing the gunpowder.
Wasn't there a
in there
History
and
Channel
firing.
game in
Yeah.
that mold?
There was, but
Yeah,
it was.
and
I have to
wasn't
play.
good.
I have to review the History Channel game. I think that's coming out.
The new one? The Realm one?
I don't even know what it is. It's a History Channel game.
Way to prepare.
It's coming out in months. I don't even know anything.
It comes
about
out in 2 weeks.
Puns.
Beyond.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the 20th.
Oh.
Man, you got beyond.
Double Beyond.
Man.
Ever heard somebody's career crash and burn on a podcast? Rewind about 2 minutes.
There it was. That's the beginning of the end. Reader mail.
Read Male. McCall. Male time. Male female. I still haven't wrote.
Did you have Halloween candy?
I had a
Before you
bagel.
came in? That's it?
And
You had a
bagel
natural?
with candy on it.
coffee.
B786 wants to know if Uncharted has any chance to win PS3 Game of the Year.
I think so. I think
Uncharted.
it's going to be a sleeper hit.
It says Uncharted.
I think Uncharted is going to be a sleeper hit. You know, cult classic.
Uncharted.
This game where you get stuck in.
Nobody
bar
expected
charts.
it.
Is that like one of those releases where baseball cards used to have error cards and they'd have like the
I think
the
so.
Billy Ripken bat that said "F you" or whatever on the handle?
The follow-up question says, as per graphics compare with Gears of War.
That's per graphics.
I don't know what that means. I can tell you
Did
that
Warrior?
it seems like the pro pixel leatherization diffusion in the game is pretty good, but
Yeah, it's very nice.
we'll have to
It
wait
is
until we see
phenomenal.
the yeah.
And of course, there's a chance that it could win on PS3. We haven't played it at length yet, though, so I think it's hard to really call at this point. It's definitely one of the higher profile, well-produced games out there.
Yeah, and its lesser-known cousin Uncharted should be doing really well, too.
Yes, I think so. And also on the same note, he wants to know what's up with Hayes. He hasn't heard anything lately. I can tell you that the game is now slated for December instead of November. Other than that, you guys have been following the game. What's up?
That's it. It's still coming on the way. We have we run blog updates. The team updates the blog. I don't even know how many times, 3, 4, 5 times a week. It's constant, pretty much.
They like to write.
Yeah, so hitting up their blog is you should be able to find links to it at some point this week on the front page, yeah, they're constantly writing there. So if you're really into Haze, just check that every day. They're putting stuff there all the time.
The Aggression also has an Uncharted question. Wants to know where we think it stands graphically compared to other PS3 games or even other 360 games.
I mean, I think it's very pretty. It's a very nice looking game. What I'm actually most happy with is that recently we've seen some of the indoor environments, and they've managed to take. I mean, it sounds weird, but there is an art style that goes with the island, and they've managed to bring that indoors and have the whole thing work together. I mean, it's not like you're not talking about like some Okami thing here where you're going out of left field with the art style, but it's all very cool. It's all very. It looks like one piece. It's all very cohesive. It's a very, very cool design.
It wraps you up in the experience.
Yes.
Immersive.
There you go. It's an easier way to say
I think
that.
it's definitely got a shot at beating Ratchet and Clank for best visuals. We'll see what happens in the final product.
Yeah.
But for me, so far, Ratchet and Clank's best looking game on the system.
Yeah.
Manberg 900 wants to know what we think about Sony's new PS3 ad campaign.
It's about
they think it's
freaking
awesome.
time.
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool.
Starting at $3.99.
Yeah. They're showing gameplay, which is good. They're showing some cool stuff in there. It's not weird. I mean, the visual thing is kind of interesting, but it's not weird like the baby ads and floating PS3s and
Right.
alien
Or the
heads
red
or whatever.
balloon.
Yeah. So I mean, it shows games. You see them. I saw it last night. I was watching The Simpsons, and my wife saw it, and she was like, "Whoa, what game is that?" And I was like, "That's Gran Turismo." She's like, "That looks very good," and I'm like, "There you go. Sony just did their job. They showed somebody the game, and she thought it was impressive looking." So. That's exactly what they needed to have been doing.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
think that if they actually had been running this ad campaign months ago, we wouldn't have had the whole issue that we had like last week when we were complaining about they haven't been doing any advertising for their games or anything else. I mean, that's what you need to do is get that buzz out with a commercial or an ad campaign that cool to make people go, whoa. Because I had the same thing. I was talking to my in-laws last night, and they brought up that they'd seen a couple commercials, and I was like, if you've got people that don't even pay any attention to this, bringing that up, like you're doing your job. You're doing exactly what has to happen.
And the Dude Get Your Own campaign is also going pretty strong for the PSP. So looks like they're shifting in high gear, which is definitely good news for them. FF Obsessed 86, who always has a lot of questions for us, has several questions, but this time I'm going to stick with only one. This says War Devil and Heavy Rain. Were you supposed to see more of them after TGS, but I haven't heard anything. Have you guys seen or learned anything more about them in the last few months?
I'm not sure what's going on with Heavy Rain. I think that's going to be one of those games that they're not going to show till further down the production line. War Devil we should be hearing about pretty soon though.
Yeah.
I think in both those cases at least that they're kind of waiting till after the release season ends, and because you have hype for all these other games, Halo and Uncharted and Call of Duty. It's kind of pointless to say, hey, we have a game coming out next June too. And you're like, well, let them get their time and then start talking about games in January and February and whatnot. So we'll hear about those games soon.
Just remember this phrase, is that IGN and War Devil together equals what's going to happen.
Equal stuff.
Yeah. We're going to have quite a bit on that game.
Yeah.
Horns Forever wants to say hey, that he says that Hillary updates the 360 boards regularly with what's going to be posted for the week on the site. Previews, updates. Wants to know if you guys are going to do something similar on the PlayStation team.
Well, we can. The hard thing is a lot of times you don't even know what's going up. Things change on a weekly basis, and especially now with stuff that's so crazy, it's hard to do. I mean, we can try that. It's not going to be 100% accurate. But
He also requests that Ryan do it since he's the new guy.
there you go, Ryan. You're on it.
And
There you go.
cooler than everyone else on the PlayStation
That's incorrect.
team.
Ryan, you're
That's what he
fired.
says. Hugh Tendo.
I'm just gonna stick around anyway.
Hugh Tendo has a great question.
Senator.
Wants to know why Jeff always sounds like someone has a gun to his head when he talks. Give him a couple of beers before you start recording, and please relax.
All right, to hell with it. I'm out.
Peace.
Why do you always sound like you have a gun to your head, Jeff?
I have no freaking idea.
Because he has a gun to his head.
Yeah.
That's why. The Great 118 says, hey, where the hell is the roster update for NHL 08? Please ask EA when the hell we will get updated rosters.
Okay.
Sure.
Jeff, you're on that. You're our resident sports guy on the PlayStation team.
Yeah. Actually, they really haven't been focusing too much on that. They've been focusing on getting a lot of their other games, especially like March Madness and everything, up and running. So a lot of the other teams are just doing patches.
I am Akin,
American?
a.k.a. I am ACN. Wants to know what we prefer, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
I hate Star Trek.
Is that Star Wars for you?
Yeah.
Ryan?
Star Trek is sometimes smarter, but I guess Star Wars for me.
Jeff?
Wars.
Star Wars for me, too.
Nice.
Beyond.
Pwned.
There you go. And on the same vein, he wants to know, could Batman beat up the Hulk if he had time to make a battle plan? I know the Batman is DC and Hulk's Marvel, but wouldn't it be cool if they could fight? Actually, you know what? I seem to remember a really old crossover where heroes from both universes actually did fight. Let me
That
just
happens
check.
all the time. That's not.
Yeah, he's thinking of
really
Amalgam.
old.
He's thinking of the Amalgam comics.
You can
That
you
whole
go
era.
farther back than that, even though, yeah. But yeah, that was the last big crossover they had. Remember
Yeah.
that? And Jubilee started dating Robin. Crazy.
Yeah, it was very weird.
And then, remember they did a couple years later, they got him back together, but Robin was dating that other chick.
I know. Well,
Spoiler.
he's a player. What can I say?
Fireworks.
I know.
Batman, if you've learned anything, I'm the biggest Hulk fan in the world. Anyone will tell you that. But if I've learned anything over the years, they make it so that Batman can beat anybody.
Anybody?
Yeah.
He whips Superman's butt. He could beat Hulk.
He'd find a way.
I thought you said
Figure
that, like,
something out.
in one universe, like, Hulk just kills and dominates everyone, so how could...
Oh, you're thinking of the future Imperfect Hulk.
Oh, okay.
That's where he becomes the maestro. See, that the world ends. Sorry, read the comic. And read our comic site, because that's where you'll learn more about it.
I don't care about Hulk, so...
Remember how mad they got on the comic site when they
Fired
did the
type
first tournament and all the readers got pissed off because Batman didn't win?
Yeah.
And they started doing the use your own delusion.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part.
I do remember that. You could have Hillary to thank for that.
I know. Well, now that I know Hillary, when I remember reading the first use your delusion, I was like, I don't know what's wrong with all you fans thinking Batman
Now
can
that
beat
you know
anyone.
him, you don't want to thank him for anything.
Exactly, no. I don't want to get his head any bigger.
QQ Kusai wants to know what we think of the PS3's competition for this month. The PS3 has Uncharted coming out, but Wii has Mario Galaxy, and 360 has Mass Effect.
It's a very good month for gaming all around.
It's a tough call.
You know what though? I mean, they're three totally different games. I'm
Yeah.
buying all three. So I mean, very good. More power. I mean, Mario Galaxy is completely unlike the other two, and then you could say that Mass Effect and Uncharted are only similar because they're adult-oriented games, and
I can tell you Mario Galaxy will outsell both of them.
Of course.
Wii has the highest, dude.
Yeah.
Wii has the highest install base.
And everybody's
It's Mario.
starving for games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna outsell them.
I'm still wondering how many people that have bought a Wii are still using them, because a lot of them are people that bought them and don't play video games ever. So
We'll find out, right? Well, I guess we'll wait
Yeah.
a month and look at the NPD numbers. I'm confident that Super Mario Galaxy will outsell Mass Effect and Uncharted. I mean,
It'll
Mass
outsell-
Effect will outsell Uncharted also. Uncharted
Yeah.
will be the low end because of the PS3 install base.
Yeah.
But I think that you look at Mario, such widespread appeal on such a high, a system with a high install base versus a niche game, and I say niche only because it's an RPG. It's still not quite the mainstream franchise that an action or a first-person shooter is. I think you're going to see it outsell.
we'll see.
Why don't you make it interesting?
Rob Shock wants to know when we're expecting to get more on.
I bet, whatever. Screw you guys.
Rob Shock wants to know when we're going to get more
Such anger.
on Naughty Dog's
Hostility.
next game. Or I'm sorry, Sucker Punch's next game, Infamous.
I'm guessing the beginning of next year. Also, they're gonna wait till after the storm.
We've had a few preliminary
know.
talks with Sony about this game already, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, we've been talking about the game for so long,
Yep.
and then finally we could. Anyway, New York Rock 19 says, here's that commercial that Ryan was talking about, and he links to YouTube. Just basically anybody can do a search on YouTube for a Red Balloon PS2 commercial.
Thanks for everybody sending those in. Please stop now.
Yeah, 5,000.
God.
Yeah, I
thousand.
mean, I
We
do.
had a lot of those.
I do appreciate, because I was
Damn it,
curious,
Ryan.
and I had looked on YouTube before. I didn't find it. I guess they put it up.
You've looked since, though, and didn't you say the comments are not taken over by...
Now
Yeah.
they're dominated by our users. All the comments on YouTube. It's like Beyond.
Beyond.
And then one of them is just like, Ryan is gay. I'm like, thanks.
Justin Daly says, this is not a question but a plea for you guys, the PlayStation team. Please talk a lot about Uncharted. You guys, aka IGN PlayStation, are in the process right now of underhyping it. Everyone sees it but you. Don't let this happen.
We've talked a lot about that
We
game.
all love Uncharted. We're all
haven't we
ready. We
brought
all
this up,
say we're
like-
going to buy it.
I think the other thing you have to remember is our job is not to hype games.
Yeah.
It's to cover them.
Yeah, but I mean, we've covered the hell out of that game.
Yeah,
though, so
I don't
and
think
we
there's been one podcast in the past month we haven't brought it up at least once. Like,
Yeah.
In fact, we had the designer of the game come on and talk about it.
yeah.
so the hype machine, tone down.
So believe me, these guys are well aware that it's a big game. They are looking forward to playing it. Particularly Greg is reviewing it.
Yeah. I don't have my build yet.
Although you should let them play it. You don't play it, and you still review it.
Okay.
That'd be
I
really.
should just go off screenshots.
There you go.
That'll
There are,
work.
there are a few magazines that do that, but they'll remain nameless.
Ooh.
Basically anything. you read.
Zing.
Ooh.
Huh.
I just said, ooh.
Yeah, a lot of mainstream magazines
burn.
you see. Not within our industry, but here's a little secret for you. A lot of the mainstream magazines you see, never trust the reviews.
No.
The end. Also has this to say, after playing... okay, I'm going to skip this one. This one's funnier. One of the main criticisms people gave Ratchet was it wasn't next-gen enough in the gameplay department.
And there's
Don't
too
you-
much to do.
Don't you agree that these people should shut up? Yes. Next gen is so it's so hard
It's
to
so
really
last
wrap
gen.
your mind. And it's also doesn't even exist. Again, this generation's been happening for 2 years. It's not next generation.
It is Gen.
It is.
It's talking
it is-
We now call it Generation.
It is.
I'm sorry. I'm going out to a next gen lunch. I don't know
It
about
is,
you.
it is
guys.
current gen. Last gen is PS2 and Xbox and GameCube. 2779 frequent contributor wants to know what our sleeper hit for the year is on PS3.
I mean, I think the Superstar SHD might be it.
That's good.
Such a good game.
Yeah, I like that game a
I
lot.
love that game. I'm also the best at it in the office.
and I like calling all cars a lot.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
But I mean, it seems easy to me just to pick a PlayStation title, a PlayStation Store title. But
Also wants to know who'd rather have dinner with, David Jaffe or Jade Raymond?
Jaffe,
Jaffe
Yeah.
for me too.
I would much rather have dinner with Jaffe.
You don't know, right?
I don't know. Whatever.
Give an answer. Come on.
Well,
Man.
doesn't matter. And that's not going to happen soon.
It's not?
Not soon for me.
So I got to point this out. So a lot of people have, pretty much everybody's seen video interviews and stuff and written interviews that Jaffe's done. A lot of that is censored. And when you're around Jaffe and you don't have to cut stuff
The
out,
raw Jaffe.
and you get, he's funny as hell. That guy, he just talks about anything.
He also knows a lot about games.
He knows a lot about games. He'll talk about anything you want to talk about, and he'll go crazy on stuff. He's a fantastic dude to talk to.
The God of War 2 announcement, when we flew down there and we checked out the game for the very first time, we spent 20 minutes before his interview just talking about Geometry Wars.
Yeah.
Because he loves casual games. He loves games in general. I'd much rather have dinner with him as well. Because I think Jade Raymond, I've met her a few times. Nice woman. Very knowledgeable as well. But I think that you lose some of the appeal of sitting down with her if you're with somebody. Because I think that a lot of her mass appeal right now is the fact that not only is she very, very knowledgeable and obviously someone who knows what she's doing, but she's also a very beautiful woman. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that she's gained such overnight popularity. Whereas Jaffe, there's a lot of stuff I'd like to talk to him about, just to see what he thinks and where he's been in these other places. That's why Ryan would pick Jade.
Probably.
Yeah.
Ryan's taking it on the chin in this podcast, and I don't think he likes it one damn bit.
Oh, I'll take it. That's fine.
we got an email.
A
It's not-
fast flurry.
We got yeah, here we go. From Jeff Ramzaroop that says, this is for Ryan, assuming you haven't said anything in a while. Are you still there?
Down goes
Yes,
Ryan.
I'm still here.
Down goes Ryan.
My favorite part of today so far is when the guy that was asking a question said, "Because Ryan's the coolest," and Rope is like, "Incorrect, you're fired."
the guy.
That's my fault.
He can't even remember his supporter.
Oh, whatever.
Hey,
whatever that guy
we can save that,
Thank you, guy.
that dinner problem. Just throw a party and invite them both.
There you go.
There you go.
That's what I was gonna say. I thought I was gonna get made fun of for trying to take the.
It doesn't
higher
matter
road.
what you do, you're going to be
Make
made
a
fun
choice.
Fine.
right.
I would have thrown a big party and invited everybody.
Let me ask you this: where would you have gotten the dinner at or catered from?
Fridays.
Incorrect.
of. Fridays? What, are you crazy?
How many pieces of flair do you
Chili's
have?
is way better.
Oh, man.
I love Fridays.
Actually, I just had the Jack Daniel's barbecue burger, or the Jack Daniel's burger last night from TGI Fridays.
I envy you.
How was
because
That thing, oh man, it's.
I'm just
quite
telling you, it's
tasty.
a good. I like going there because I like it. That's
every
all.
time I go to Fridays, I always order the Jack Daniel's something, either the hamburger or the steak, and they're always out of it.
You never get
We're out
drunk?
of the Jack Daniel's sauce.
What? They've never been
time.
out of it.
The
when
last
I've
3
gone.
times I've gone, all 3 times.
You're just going to the wrong one.
I'm going to the one here here it is. It's in San Bruno.
Oh, I can't wait to
It's
steak
actually
out.
right
A
next to
Friday's
it's,
call out.
it's next to the Game Tap office, actually. So that's the Fridays, and it's always out of sauce.
No, see, I went to the Hillsdale one, the one at the Hillsdale Mall.
Oh, okay.
Is that the one on Grundy?
I need to go that one.
Is that the one on Grundy Lane and it's right in a business park?
I don't know.
Did you say you went to it 3
Solomon
times?
Grundy,
Well, I don't know,
born
I
on
don't know
a
the street
Monday.
name.
Oh, okay.
I'm
But
gonna
it's
go
next
drink.
to a Chili's.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah,
near
it's
Chili's,
and
right?
it's behind
Ah,
Chili's.
yes.
And how
behind,
good is Chili's, everybody,
and,
huh?
then, and then behind that is the Game Tap office.
I
didn't know
Game
Game
Tap
Tap was
salsa?
right
There you
there.
go, yeah,
I could go
that's-
visit the
that's
Game
about it.
Tap office.
And then across the street's a Tan Fran
You looking
Mall.
for a job?
Ooh,
Where
Tan
BJ lives.
Probably after Rope fired
The
me.
Grand
on there.
National wants to know when we can expect reviews for Assassin's Creed and Uncharted.
Assassin's Creed will be the week of release, and Uncharted will be
Around its release.
around its release. How
Stay
about that one?
tuned.
TBD.
A politic.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, the actual when we're going to post a review for Uncharted is Hillary's doing the review for Assassin's Creed, but we're of course doing the Uncharted review, and the date for that review is sort of pending on
Things.
yeah on things. So we'll see what that date is closer when we get to it.
Discussions.
Yeah,
Negotiating.
negotiations.
Friendships.
Yes.
What else can I put in here?
Read the next question. It's Christian Slater. For
No.
me,
What?
No.
please.
Come on.
No, it's hard for me to do.
What the hell is going on?
It's hard for me to do.
What?
Well, I'm still recovering from that cold, and last time I did it, very difficult.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right.
Here's a short one.
You didn't read the release, the upcoming list as the celebrity impersonator. I thought what our idea was.
That's
I
your
am
idea.
going to
Doesn't mean
go
I
drink.
agreed with it.
That was Greg's idea.
No, it wasn't. I didn't say that.
Well, I'm not going to do it either way.
Whoa! Now you're totally turned.
That was
that's a
Roper's
lie.
idea,
Oh,
actually.
it's
my
Roper's
idea.
idea.
You just sit there and you shut up, Brian. You know what makes you think you can earn talking to this podcast?
I hate everyone.
EB Poll wants to know if we prefer pancakes or waffles.
We've already talked about that before. This
a
question
close
has been
one.
asked.
Waffles if it's over the counter. Pancakes if we're going to the Millbrae Pancake House.
Yeah.
Right now, Scotch. We got so freaking derailed.
Still not funny. We 60 wants to know if we know anything about Ninja Theory. What is
They're
their
a developer.
Yes. What is their
That helps.
position now after Heavenly Sword? Are they done with Sony? Or are they still under contract for more games?
I actually don't know the answer to that. That's
No,
a, that's a
neither.
good one. I don't think that they're going to tell you. I don't think that they would give an answer to that until they've announced what they're working on. So, there you go.
Jeff Ramsaroop, again, wants to know between Iron Man, The Dark Knight, Indiana Jones, and The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which do we think is going to be the better movie?
Ooh.
Dark Knight
Dark
for me.
Knight.
Yeah.
I think Dark
I
Knight.
would go Dark
Harrison Ford is old, and he does this, and he does the same angry look in every single movie. Get off my plane, and that kind of crap. And
And Batman Begins was awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
Batman Begins is my favorite superhero movie.
Joker
of all
looks
time.
good in this one.
And you're on crack. You're still fired. And The Dark Knight is going to be that movie's going to be awesome.
I think you're going to get a
Hopefully.
Beyond award, dude.
On a related note, wants
just
to know
opinion-based.
if we think there's any merit behind the rumor of Pandemic developing the Dark Knight game. I would say, considering that EA has the rights to the Batman movie game and now they own Pandemic and BioWare, I'd say there's probably a lot of merit behind that. But
Yes.
I guess we'll find out as time goes on.
What's the current release date for the movie?
It's
June?
May or
I thought
June.
it was May.
Okay.
Yeah,
May.
it's
Thought
May
it
or
was May.
June. It's somewhere in there.
So if
It's
that
not soon enough. How's that?
yes.
There's
Jeff-
rumors of a teaser or a real trailer for Christmas.
On Beowulf, right?
Yeah, or is it on Beowulf?
Yeah, supposedly there's something on Beowulf.
Talk about
Oh, no.
ruining an epic
Beowulf
poem.
is the next Cloverfield trailer, I think it is. I think it's, Death Kato wants to know if we can expect to see any downloadable content for folklore, Ryan.
I'm not sure. I haven't heard of anything. I'm assuming that it's going to be in the near future because they did that little contest where they you design your own folk or something. I don't know if we talked about that or not. Greg, didn't you and I talk about that?
We
at some point?
we had a conversation
Not on the
about
podcast,
it. Yeah,
though, right?
I think it was
So-
the competition was over in Japan, that wasn't it, or something like that, or Europe.
I thought they were.
Was it
They
ever?
had stuff here too.
I think you're gonna be able to download folks eventually. I thought I
Sebastian,
heard that somewhere.
Sebastian, who has the best question of the week, says, also, how does the PS3 version run online compared to the 360?
Huh.
For folklore?
Let's go through every single game.
No, I don't know. This doesn't say.
Oh.
It's just the PS3 version.
Can't
it
warn
runs,
this.
Probably
it-
a little bit worse.
It runs just as good, if not a little bit better, but sometimes worse.
Voice chat
There you go.
optional.
Bear in Mind says, incorporate the 6-axis, of which RNC does an excellent job. I agree with those people.
Very interesting
I think
comment.
maybe some of these people are
Is he
just
speaking
responding
To the other message boards,
posts.
yeah. What happened to IGN Weekly, asks Johnny Blades. There was supposed to be a break for the summer, but I thought it was supposed to resume in the fall. Well, funny you should ask.
That's a you question.
It is. Well, rather than just take a break and say IGN Weekly's taking a little time off, we are actually retooling the whole show. So we're taking a little bit longer to come back with it because there's a lot of changes we're making. And it's going to be a very different show than what you're used to and what you've seen before, and hopefully one that you'll enjoy. That's really the key, as one that you guys like. So that probably, honestly, will not come back until next year. Likely January, February. January, we'll say, for now. So there you go.
Sure.
I'm sure these guys appreciate it.
Q1.
It's one less thing they have to do this
IGN
this
Weekly,
month.
Q1.
Q1, exactly.
Could
Karen-
slip to Q2.
What if we changed it to IGNQ? And every quarter have a show.
We used to have a feature called IGN PSQ,
I remember.
Oh.
where they'd ask PlayStation questions. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. Little
Amazing. I'm still here.
Perrin Umlick wants to know
So
when we
far.
can finally expect to see 2.0 for the PS3 update.
Everybody seems to think that it's going to coincide with home, and I agree with that. I think they're going to go to. I think it would be pretty funny if they did, because they're at 194 now. I think if they
Yeah.
hit 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and they had to do like
1999?
1.91 or 1.991. I think or
I think it'd be great if they
99B.
skipped 2 and just went 1.98 to 2.01.
I think that's what they should do.
That'd be fun.
But yeah, I think it'll be with home.
Blaine99 wants to say that he thinks that I should be hosting every IGN podcast, to which I reply, thank you, but no way. And you're crazy. Angry Shadow Man says he loves the new PS3 ads, and that he just has a whole list of complete complete non sequiturs as I read down this. It's nothing to do with anything. So there you go. He loves a new PS3.
Great.
Good question.
It started off strong, ran out of steam.
There you go. Those are all our reader questions this week. If you have any other reader questions you want us to read on the air, then you have two options. You can send an email to the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, or PlayStation Portable mailbags found on any page on IGN.com, or you can go on our message boards and post it in the official thread that Jeff or Ryan or Greg or Chris will post immediately following this podcast.
I'm not going to do it. Not it.
Well, I'm not going to do it either. What's
Ryan's
coming up?
fired. What
Next,
do you want?
our next segment, of course,
Ouch.
and I say of course because it's the first time we're doing it, is PlayStation promos. What can our readers expect to see from the PlayStation team this week on your 3 channels?
Well, there should be a fair bit of stuff coming up. Call of Duty 4 review goes up today.
Uh-huh.
So that should be special. I expect that game to get a better than decent score.
Silent Hill Origins maybe on Friday, right?
Maybe.
Maybe, but not likely.
Probably, yeah, most likely not.
I'm putting words in his mouth because I'm looking at his face and he's squinting like he's Clint Eastwood. He just doesn't quite know. He's like, no, I don't know.
You feel lucky on that one? I don't
else?
think so.
What else you guys got going on?
High School Musical Sing It review.
That's a good one.
Exclusive hands-on with Sonic Rivals 2 on the PSP.
And of course, the SmackDown
Uncharted
Countdown.
Demo. Yes, SmackDown Countdown, including the PSP, 3 exclusive PSP Legends on Friday. And I got derailed. Oh, I already said Uncharted. There was something in the ether. Somebody else go, and I'll come back.
Something in the ether.
Ryan, what are you doing this week, if
Ether.
anything?
You will be seeing.
MX Versailles TV
Kazing.
preview.
There you go.
Multiplayer.
Nice. Just the bigger one is Blade Storm, which is going to be in the near
Ass.
future.
Can you really say it's the
Oh.
bigger one?
The bigger one of the stuff I have.
Wow.
That is a correct statement.
You give him some real winners.
Yeah.
What are your next 3 scheduled reviews? Just out of curiosity.
A lot of the stuff is PS2 and some PSP stuff that's coming up
Such
that I
as?
just don't have. Well, I thought I was doing Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but apparently not. I guess that's gone to Greg.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah.
told you that last week
Yeah.
because Greg knows the show.
Beyond?
You've never seen it.
Right.
It made
I
more
just,
sense to
So
move
you
to him.
got yeah.
No, that's actually
Also, you're fired, so you can't review it anymore.
Do we have a build in the office?
No.
I
We have
asked
to- we have to wait to
I
get the
asked
game.
for one last week, and I don't think we've gotten one yet.
All right.
We'll have to go buy it. Isn't it great that everyone's
Awesome.
hearing our little internal?
The
Here's our
inside-
plan.
Actually, I think we're supposed to get it today.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
We'll see.
So for all of you out there who are curious, this is actually a good thing that maybe you guys should start doing week to week. Is what is the next game you're reviewing? We'll start with Jeff. Jeff.
Next game obviously would have been Silent Hill Origins, but now it's going to be Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops Plus.
There you go. Ryan.
I have to
Blade
do
Storm, right?
Blade Storm and Ratatouille for PS3.
Rope.
I am working on the Need for Speed Pro Street review, which won't go up until next week sometime, but I'm doing it now.
And Greg.
High School Musical Sing It,
And Aqua Teen.
Aqua Teen, and then Area 51.
I just don't remember us talking
Black
about
Site,
Aqua Teen.
51.
But Area 51's not coming until December on PS3.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Why
Sorry,
didn't
it
it so damn
all
early?
mushes together.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing it on 360 too, so
And
that's
that
why.
comes out, yeah,
That comes out
next
next week, yeah.
What a week.
Yeah, what a week.
This could be.
Oh, God. Although the one thing
eHarmony.
that could be rather interesting is we're going to have some information on DMC4 coming out, I believe, tomorrow. I think we can actually start talking about some of that stuff.
We will see.
So,
What's left to talk about?
Things are
Anything?
happening.
they're supposed to be showing some new stuff, some new levels, possibly some new things that they didn't show at the London event.
They're going to reveal that you can play as a third character that looks identical to the other two. You're going to play as Virgil.
No, Virgil is not in the game. That I already have confirmation from Kobayashi
Virgil's
about.
so awesome.
Kobayashi's a good lawyer.
So they claim.
Yes, he is. And he does work for Kaiser Soze.
Well, quick promotional. One other promotion note. This is my last episode of Podcast Beyond.
No.
Be gone!
Beyond.
You
Yeah,
just made a bunch of people really unhappy. Right there.
Yeah, you guys, because now you have to host it.
It has nothing to do with that. We're just going to get all these threads on the message board.
even one of the people in the questions today was like, I think you should host every podcast.
Well, I appreciate that, but unfortunately, given my responsibilities daily and my commitment to other overarching podcasts like GameScoop and IGN as AFK, which I'm also taking over, just can't do it really anymore. Plus, I'm not on the PlayStation team anymore, and I oversee everything. Don't want to show any sort of favoritism because I really don't have it. So it's best that I just bid adieu.
Be gone.
Plus, we recorded on Mondays, which is a very important day for me. I really have a lot to catch up with on Mondays. So
the best part is you're going to take off, and now Roper's going to have a baby, and it's going to be us three, and Jeff and I are the only two who talk. It's gonna be like,
Yeah, Jesus.
It's going to be pretty awesome.
It'll quickly become Metal Gear Beyond.
Yeah, so you're going to need to be the guest host when I'm gone, which could be next week. So you'll guest host on the first week.
No guest host.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I would talk more. I let you guys talk because you're the veterans of the team.
So we're old. We get it.
Yep.
Fired times 12.
But I can come back from time to time if you ever need me to drop in and answer any questions or help out with anything. But the hosting days, the regular days are over for me.
Hanging up the
So
jersey.
just wanted to say thank you guys very much to the four of you who've definitely made it fun to be on the podcast every day, except for the 1 week I missed. And I think you guys are going to do a good job. To do just fine without me. I am confident of this. And I guess with that, we'll move to Greg's song.
You're confident we'll be good with that. They'd be great. You're all great. Oh, it'll be fine without you. And then next week people download the podcast and it's that Independence Day virus.
Yeah. By the way, Independence Day
God.
is one of the worst written films in history.
No,
because
it's terrible.
These guys travel
Welcome to
light
Earth.
years to destroy Earth, and when they get here, nothing can stop them except for a Mac from 1995 because they don't have any virus protection software. You'd think that they would have that if they're traveling that far.
War
Yeah,
of
but
the
War of the
Worlds.
Worlds, they got
War
taken
of the
down by
Worlds.
air. I mean,
Air.
Jesus Christ.
Not air.
Signs.
No, they were
The
killed.
germs.
They were killed by bacteria.
It was
Yes.
bacteria, but it was still
They
practically
didn't come up.
freaking
They
air.
didn't come up in their research.
It was freaking
Is there
air.
anything else there? No, just people.
We got tripods, but oh my God, bacteria. Jesus.
You get cracking on a way that we can turn people into like food for our stuff to grow. Okay, no problem. Hey, there's weird stuff on people. I'm sure we'll be there when we get there.
that scrubbing thing, we don't need to clean them off.
It's really funny because you think that the entire problem could have been solved if they brought airborne with them or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if any of these aliens thought had.
If they got in a flu shot, it would have been fun.
Yeah, they have an E. coli problem just like we do.
All right, song time.
Of course, since it's Jeremy's last podcast, it's dedicated to him, and it's Sarah
thank you.
McLachlan. I will remember you. Beyond will remember you.
Should we have a picture montage?
Will you remember Beyond? Don't let IGN pass you by. Weep not for the PS3. I'm so tired, but I can't pone. Jeremy's leaving us, man. It makes me weep. It's funny how we feel so much inside, but we cannot say a word. The fans are screaming on the boards, but hey, they can't be heard. Beyond will remember you.
Thank you very much. They will see you next week, everybody. Till next time, we're out.